incarcerated individuals' use of institutional telephones constitutes consent, and your calls may be provided to law enforcement agencies. Thank you for using Securus.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting Friday night edition of the Grand Jury. It's game show style, folks. Lights, camera, and reasonable person standard action. I'm your co-host, Bailiff Big Ron, bringing the energy like I do every Friday night. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's meet a distinguished guest from tonight's episode, the 5 volunteers who have bravely stepped up to serve on our mock grand jury. Our first guest tonight is going to be Rich. Rich, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you. I haven't ever seen an episode before. A bunch of my friends have been on it. Jim Bob, he was on last Friday. Jim Bob, me, and Charlene host a Patriot Chat, which is a space every Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern. But I'm pleasure to be here, and I want to have a good time.
It's great to have you, and I think you're going to enjoy the show tonight. And our next guest is going to be Tim. Tim, welcome.
Hey, thanks, Ron. Thanks for having me on here. This is great. It's my first time. I've only watched this show maybe once or twice before. I actually run a space called I Wasn't Canceled. So we kind of talk about all kinds of things, anywhere from, any kind of normal case to anything from politics to military, geopolitics. We do that every Thursday night around 12 p.m. Or 12 a.m. EST. And yeah, let's have a good time. Thanks.
Oh, it's going to be a great time, and I think you're going to be enjoying it on this side of the show. And our next guest tonight is going to be Jenny. Welcome to the show, Jenny.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm also new to this, and this is probably the only jury I'll ever be picked for since I'm a paralegal. So thanks.
Yes, there is that conflict of interest, isn't there? And our next guest is going to be Nico. Nico, welcome to the show.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for having me. I've seen the show before, enjoyed it. Found myself like a contestant in some of these TV shows that you see, trying to call out the bill or no bill. So I look forward to doing that tonight. For myself, I'm a Texas vet, and I'm looking forward to this.
Outstanding. Welcome. And last but not least is Kim. Kim, welcome to the show tonight.
Thank you, Juan. I'm glad to be here. It's exciting.
Oh, I hope you're going to enjoy it. Give them a big round of applause, everyone in the chat. Let's show some love for our guests. These are real people from X community, ready to watch real-world body cam and dash cam footage. Hear the context and vote reasonable or unreasonable. We'll go case by case, play the videos, discuss the key moments, and then poll the jury one by one, starting with guest 1 all the way down the line. Joe will guide us through the evidence, break down the law, and keep things moving. And like a good courtroom drama, we start with the classic intro. All rise. The Honorable Mock Grand Jury is now in session. The bailiff will now swear in our panel of 5 everyday heroes from X. Do you solemnly swear to judge these police uses of force videos based solely on facts, the footage, and what a reasonable officer would do under the circumstances, without bias, without hindsight, and with the spirit of Graham versus Connor in mind? Say I do if you're ready to deliberate.
I do.
I do.
I do.
Outstanding. Well, Joe, you know what that means. And like I say every night, the bourbon's cold, the cigar is lit, the chat is hot, the guests are in their seats. I say we kick this thing off, Joe. Let's take it away.
I tell you what, let's do it. But we've got one more member to introduce tonight. As any good grand jury, we have an expert witness. That's Jason, a 30-year veteran of Minnesota law enforcement. He's also the developer of the 3D response system, school safety system. Jason, anything you want to say to the folks? I thought I brought you up, did I not? Let's try it again. There we go.
Hello, everybody. Just retired last June, enjoying retirement and focused on 3D response and getting this in as many schools as we can. Long, kind of done everything in law enforcement you could possibly do. And again, I'm very happy to be retired. Have fun tonight, guys.
All right. Of course, I'm going to be your host tonight, Joe Lanou. I'll act as your prosecutor and guide you through the cases, give you some facts of law and how case law is said that jurists should look at these situations. And for all of our cases tonight, well, for all but one of our cases tonight, we're going to look at cases of the use of deadly force by law enforcement. And what deadly force is any force used, i.e. a firearm or any other type of force used that a reasonable person would believe can result in the serious bodily injury or death of another. Deadly force is only justified in the United States, and these are all 50 states, when a reasonable person would believe, given the same information available, that the deadly force was necessary in self-defense or in defense of another. We heard our producer talk about, our bailiff, talk about Graham versus O'Connor. Graham versus O'Connor, 1989, said, in particular to police officers, the police officer's use of deadly force should be viewed with deference given to the officer for a swiftly evolving situation and without the benefit of hindsight. That means that you don't get to, the officer didn't get the opportunity to review the videotape and see it from 3 different angles to make it determine what's going on. So we ask our jurists from all across the land to view these things with understanding that the toy gun scenario, it could be a toy gun, but how's a reasonable person supposed to know it 10 feet away? So you can't hold the fact that it's a gun that you found out after the fact. You can't hold that against the officer. You've got to treat with the information available at the time. What I like to say is at the time that the trigger was pulled. Anything found out after the trigger is pulled, you really can't hold it against the officer. But let's talk about a grand jury. Unlike a trial jury that you see on in movies and depicted in everything else, all of the media, the jury you see there is typically a trial jury, a jury of 12. There to decide innocence or guilt. That's not a grand jury's job. The grand jury is a gateway that the state must pass through prior to prosecuting citizens. In most states, there are some states that don't have grand juries. You should get out in the streets and protest that. But even on the federal level, anything that's going to be a felony offense has to go through the gates of a grand jury. What this is a panel of peers, regular citizens, that will look at the case that the state's brought and see if there's enough probable cause there, which is probable cause is defined as more likely than not. It's not much, more likely than not, that evidence exists that the state can continue with a prosecution and formally charges the citizen. So a grand jury is very important. But let's go back to probable cause. Unlike a trial jury, they're asking you to be beyond a reasonable doubt. That's a pretty heavy burden. You have to be pretty well convinced beyond a reasonable doubt. Tonight, we're not asking for that. We're asking for more likely than not. Probable cause. We're not asking you to determine the innocence or guilt of anyone. We're only asking you to determine tonight if you think the force was reasonable or not. Reasonable, not using the reasonable person standard and being objective. What we're saying here is that would a reasonable person in the officer's position believe that their life or a third person's life was in danger or in danger of serious bodily injury? So that's all we're asking tonight. Is it reasonable or not? Tonight, the jury may have one or two findings. The force was reasonable or unreasonable. Reasonable or not is probably most likely we'll say it. Unlike a trial jury where it needs to be a unanimous decision, tonight 3 out of 5 votes wins the day with the majority decision. And we're going to make it fun and game show style because we're going to put you on the clock for 10 minutes to make that decision. Do we have any questions before we get to our first case? All of our jurors are ready to go.
Rock and roll.
Ready?
Let's do it.
Big Ron.
Rock and roll.
All right, guys, put your seatbelts on. Here we go.
Yeah, DPS has a grapple. I-17 in Durango, but it's trying to get out of the grapple. I don't know if we have any units close that can assist so they get more DPS units on scene.
Hey, reach it. Give me the key for this car!
Hey, 245 and a PO.
Hey, who's Tahoe?
He was trying to get out of the way and it hit the DPS.
Hey, give me a rear VCT on this car right here.
I got you.
Who's fucking car?
abide by. Not worth it.
Keep your hands on your fucking head!
What'd you keep?
Keep your hands on your head! Let me see your Let me see your hands!
I'm gonna get a 40 up. Reach it left. Hey, get a 40, breach the fucking window.
Here is the body-worn camera footage from the perspective of the second involved Phoenix officer.
Anybody else in that car?
Please get it back to the
Anybody else?
Hey, grab that Tahoe, let's pinch it.
Give me the key for this car! Give me the key for this car! Hey!
Whose car?
Hey, who's Tahoe? Who's Tahoe? Give me the key! Who's Tahoe? Hey, give me a rear VCT on this car right here!
Who got the keys to this Tahoe?
Give me the keys to this car right now! Whose fucking car is this?
Is that your Tahoe? You can't see him?
Stop fucking raging! Stop fucking raging! Let me see your fucking hands, or I will fucking shoot you! Keep your hands on your fucking head! Keep your hands on your head! Let me see your Let me see your hands! Hey! Hey! Don't fucking
Okay, folks, there's your first case for the night. You've got a Arizona troopers initiated the stop on the vehicle, I believe, for a stolen vehicle, and it turned into a pursuit. And they're using an apparatus called a grappler. It's an apparatus that the vehicle's patrolman is able to come up behind a vehicle that's fleeing, deploy the grappler to them, which I think it's somehow or another wraps up into their tires or attaches itself to the vehicle. I've seen a couple of different kinds. I'm not sure exactly how the grappler works. I think it goes to the tires, but either way, it essentially attaches the fleeing vehicle to the patrol vehicle. They use the weight of the patrol vehicle to stop it. In this case, the suspect is attached, and that's the turning of the wheels. That's the smoke that you're seeing from the wheels. That he's using it that way. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can get some stuff done here on screen because it's bothering me. Okay. So what you're seeing is the response there from Phoenix PD that came in to assist. The 911 call was describing that we've got a grappler stopped and they're asking for an agency assist. Any parts of the video we'd like to see again?
Yes, right on the second video, right before the shooting starts, please.
How about here?
Keep your hands on your fucking head! Keep your hands on your head! Let me see your hands! Hey! Don't fucking
That help you?
Yes, I was trying to see. It seemed like the body cam for the second police officer, it seemed at first that he was the one that started shooting, but then that let me know that somebody else started shooting. So somebody else saw something before the body cam officer did.
Can we go back to the first video? It was hard to get a line of sight, but at the right before they start shooting, I think in between the two cars, you could see some of it.
I think I'm close right here. Let's pull that up.
fucking head!
What'd you keep?
Keep your hands on your head! Let me
Okay, I'm going to pause it there. That way you can get an idea of seeing into the vehicle. Now, if you, just in case you didn't pick up on it, there was a passenger in this vehicle that had already obeyed officers' commands to get out and was detained without incident. But the only person in the vehicle is the driver at this point.
Let me see your hands!
I'm gonna get a 40 up. Reach it left. Hey, get a 40. Breach the fucking window.
You want to go back? See, I think what you're talking about, there's a spot in here right after he stops shooting that you can see the car. Is that what you're talking about, Jenny?
No, it was, you got it. I was just trying to see like which way the car was facing and that kind of thing.
And I'll ask if you can just go back a few seconds from there, because it sounds like the main officer that's calling out commands, I believe he actually says, hey, he's reaching, or starts to say that.
What they're calling for the 40 millimeter. They want to break the glass to get the occupant. One of the issues they have is they can't really see in there because of the smoke. But we'll go back to that and let's listen.
I will fucking shoot you! Keep your hands on your fucking head!
What'd you keep?
Keep your hands on your head! Let me see your Let me see your hands!
I'm gonna get a 40 up.
So you heard someone say, someone get a 40 up. Everyone heard that?
Yeah.
And he's talking, it's a non-lethal 40 millimeter projectile launcher.
Reach it left. Hey, get a 40. Breach the fucking window.
Get a 40 and breach the window. Do you want me to go back? Because I didn't hear anybody say reaching. Let's listen.
Yes, yes.
Let me see your hands!
I'm gonna get a 40 up. Reach it left. Hey, get a 40. Breach the fucking window. You can't see him?
The only reaching heard is here, and I
That's where it
believe
was,
it's
yeah.
our mic'd officer, and yeah, he says stop effing reaching.
Right. And my concern there was like more crossfire than anything. I mean,
Oh,
It,
are we
it,
doing
it
range
almost sounded,
violations? Are we doing range violations tonight?
it almost sounded like the guy started shooting first. That was my initial thought.
I'll tell you what, Big Ron, let's put him on the clock and talk about it. So, Jenny, give me your initial thought. You think the actor in the car shot first?
That's what it sounded like to me from the first video watching it, because you couldn't really tell where the first shot came from, but to me it sounded like it came from that car.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that to a point. But it does seem like the shot started with the officer with his rifle. But it's really hard to see in the car, but I'm sure as soon as they seen that he was possibly brandishing a weapon, yeah, they're gonna open fire.
Well, with the smoke there, it's difficult to see inside the passenger compartment. What if he was holding up a cell phone? Would you still be okay with it?
Me personally, no.
Oh, I would, because you don't know what it is. So even if he picked up a cell phone, the officers can't see it well enough, and he's the one who created the smoke in the first place.
Yeah,
But he's just trying to get away. He didn't mean anything by the smoke. He's just trying to get away.
Right, but you can't obviously get away with a grappler attached to your car. So
Okay, let's go to Richard. Richard, what's your first impression, if you will?
Well, my first impression is he's burning so much rubber that he's not going to stop for anything. And, he's just imagine if instead of trying to go forward, he backed up and ran over the officers. Would that be a justified shoot if he was going backwards? Yeah, it would be. But this guy is obviously not going to stop. He's already, he's already shown how willing he is going to go through with his own will. He's either going to be a danger to the officers or he's going to be a danger to someone down the road. I wish it didn't, turn out in violence. I wish they didn't have to unload on him, but, the guy created a standoff, and, in a standoff, sometimes people jump the gun and, someone accidentally fires. I mean, who actually, shot first in the battle of, Lexington and Concord, who knows?
Yeah, we're still not sure who popped that first round off that got it all started. Let's go to Nico. What do you think, Nico?
Yes, and starting with your question from earlier, what if he had a cell phone? To me, that depends. If he reaches for it quickly, or just it reaches for something, with all that smoke, those officers can't see what's happening. But if he slowly reaches, he could be slowly reaching for a gun. If he reached for it quickly, he could be reaching for a gun quickly. So at that point, I would think it would be reasonable for them to start firing. And really, they were already in a situation with him trying to get away, with the smoke, with him not listening to commands. They were already, to me, in a situation where it would be reasonable that if he made just any sudden moves, they would be justified in starting their fire.
Okay. Nico, remind me to come back to you. I'm going to put a pin in that. I'm going to come back to what you just said, but I want to hear what Tink's got to say on her first look on this. What do you think, Kim?
So I guess my question is, with a GoPro, does the car move at all? Like, can it move inches or feet at all? Because if so, he's gearing up. So if that car can move, then those officers are still in danger because it's a weapon. So, and because of the smoke he creates, I'm leaning toward reasonable, because you err on the side of caution.
Okay. You know what? I'm not sure exactly how the grappler. Jason, are you familiar with the grappler? I thought that it deployed and wrapped under your tires, like a netting that got tangled in your tires. I think your vehicle is pretty much incapacitated once it's deployed, but I'm not sure. Jason, do you have any insight on that?
Yeah, it wraps around both your rear tires, and the weight of the squad car prevents it from leaving. So in the beginning of that, when you saw that squad car jerk forward real quick, that was him gunning it. and it pulled the car. I don't know if they didn't have it in park or somebody stepped out, but yeah, essentially they wrap up the back tires.
So even if it were to break free of its the connection rope or cable, whatever it is, and the car were to be free of the police car, it still pretty much would be incapacitated. That netting is now wrapped up in your wheels.
Gotcha. They could still move though, but yeah, pretty much. You're not getting too far.
Now, Jason, with that system, if this person were to put it in reverse, could he go back and strike the patrol vehicle? Or is it stiff where it prevents that from happening?
It depends on what type of grappler it was. Some of them have bars. Some of them are a toe strap type thing. It just depends.
Okay. I want to go back to you, Nico. You say that, and I think, Richard, you said this as well, that this individual created the scenario and was reckless in his attempts to get away. But let me ask you this. Is it okay to use deadly force to stop someone from getting away, even if they're trying real hard?
I guess I'll go first. A lot of states don't actually do high-speed chases anymore because the just fleeing of the suspect, can can cause accidents down the line. But it's kind of 50-50 on that.
Nico, what do you think? Yep. Is there a time when it's okay to use deadly force to apprehend someone because their veracity to flee?
Yes, it definitely depends. If somebody is fleeing and they're already a danger, maybe you already saw that they have a weapon or they've already been aggressive or caused harm to other people, I definitely think it would be okay to use deadly harm for somebody like that trying to get away.
Okay, we're getting down to about 2 minutes. I'm going to put you on the spot for a vote, but I want to say this. There actually is a Supreme Court case on this, Garner versus Tennessee. Garner versus Tennessee says that you violate a citizen's right if law enforcement uses deadly force to prevent someone from fleeing for the mere fact of getting away. It used to be in the state of Tennessee and many other states across the country prior to this landmark decision that allowed police officers to use deadly force for a felon fleeing a fresh crime. In Garner's case, they come to a house that there'd been reported of a burglary in progress. They get there. He's coming out with a television. He drops the television and runs. They chase him into the alley, and he's got a lead on the police officers, so he had an opportunity to get away. Officer drew his weapon and shot him and killed and hit him in the back of the head. So we do have that as a prevention. Law enforcement officers and you as citizens, you're not allowed to use deadly force to apprehend or effect an arrest. So after that being said, you don't have time to really talk about it. Let that sink in. I'm going to come to you first, Tim R. I want a vote for reasonable or not.
I would say that is definitely reasonable in all accounts.
Very good. Jenny J, reasonable or not?
I think it was reasonable. I feel like he did reach for something. He was in the process of a felony, stolen car, and that's it. He created the situation.
Very good. Mr. Richard Reeves, your vote.
The vehicle is actually considered a lethal weapon.
Well, it is not of itself, and I don't want to debate it too much, but if the vehicle was going at officers, I'm with you, but the vehicle in of itself is not a lethal weapon, manner of use. But you could say that you believe that weapon, you can give your vote, reasonable or not. If you think the car was a weapon or a threat, then I'll accept it. You're the juror. So you're going with reasonable, Richard?
Yes, I'm going with reasonable.
Very good. Kim, reasonable or not?
Reasonable. Yeah, I think that he created the doubt with the smoke. So anything they saw.
Okay, I'll buy that. Nico, I think you're our last one, sir. How do you weigh?
I don't know if you can hear me, but reasonable.
We can hear you. I hope you can hear us, right? We're still good on audio?
All good.
Yep.
Okay, there it is. Your first vote in. Yeah, successful. Reasonable force. Jason, do you have some comments for this one? You with us, Jason? Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry about that. I think it was reasonable. They saw something there to respond that way. I don't know what they saw, if the guy shot first, but in their shoes at that moment, you have that many cops seeing something and respond the way they did. I think it's beyond reasonable. I did want to comment on the fleeing in states. In our state, we used to be able to, but not anymore. But if it's a property crime, we probably don't pursue. Person's crime, if you just assaulted somebody, you kidnapped somebody, you murdered somebody, we will come after you with a fury to make sure you do not get away. And then you also have to look at, if this guy gets away, is he a danger to others? So it's, in my opinion, the jury got it right. It's reasonable.
You know what? I agree with the jury on this. I think it's reasonable, but I'm not sure if they landed on it for the same reason I did. I landed there because I think it's reasonable if the officer thought he saw a weapon in that smoke. It seemed to be reasonable that you would think this guy's a danger. He's shown there that he's no compliance, clearly knows it's a police officer. He's got his vehicle attached to another cop because he's been running from him, and he's gunning the engine on it. If I saw the shadow of a gun in there, I think you have to give the deference. Remember, we spoke about this, Graham versus O'Connor. You have to give the deference to the officer for a swiftly evolving situation. So I agree with it. I don't know that I agree with they were, what am I trying to say? The guy was trying to get away real hard. I don't know. I'll go that far with it. Okay, but that's the warm up. That's the easy one.
I just wanted to say too, we also don't know what the passenger told the police. So remember, the passenger was arrested first, so she may have conveyed something to them too.
Yes, ma'am. But I will ask for you guys tonight to make your judgments on the evidence that's presented there. Presumptions, you can draw. You can go a little outside the line, but for the most part, we ask that our jurors only decide what the evidence put in front of you. If it's lacking, then you should make your decision that way. Okay, with that, guys, we'd like to promote small content. I want to say providers, producers. Creators, there you go. Thank you so much, Jenny. Small content creators, and we do the Range Minded podcast. Let's run the Range Minded podcast. Big Ron, tell folks about it.
Steve, I'm still waiting for that best hamburger.
Have you ever wondered to yourself, man, what time does the store close? Or where's the best cheeseburger near me? Well, I'm not going to answer those questions. That's what your damn phone is for. Use that. Instead, if you have stuff related, to the 2A world, I'm your man. My name's Steve. I run the Range Minded podcast. On the podcast, we talk about all things Second Amendment, whether it be new guns or gear. Maybe we talk about some training. We'll dig into Washington and the shenanigans they get up to. Sometimes we talk about the Supreme Court and the crap that they're doing. It's always a good time, a little smorgasbord of the 2A, if you don't mind me using that narrative. Either way, you can find us whether on YouTube or Rumble, Range Minded Podcast. I'm also on all sorts of streaming services, wherever you listen to your podcast, Range Minded Podcast. You can jump on the website, rangemindedpodcast.com. Maybe stop by, buy a patch and some other things there. You can link to the social medias and all that other stuff. Hope to see you there. It's always a good time. Anyways, you guys have fun, stay safe, and always stay range minded. See you guys soon.
Well, I'll tell you what, the only folks who will be surprised about this are people who do not watch the Range Minded podcast. If you check it out, he puts out a weekly episode, but he was nominated for a Gundy for Podcaster of the Year last year. Real stiff field. He didn't actually win the Gundy, but he was nominated, and he works hard at it. Go to his website, find his podcast wherever you get your podcast, and do a subscribe, follow, whatever's appropriate there that helps. And like it and share it. But also go to his website, buy a patch or two. That helps with the cost of putting these shows together. But the Range Minded podcast, without a doubt. Big Ron, case number 2. They're not going to get any easier, folks.
Warning: some viewers may find these videos disturbing and unsuitable for children.
At approximately 10:29 p.m., a Santa Ana police officer attempted to stop a vehicle that was speeding in the area of Santa Ana Boulevard and French Street. The vehicle failed to yield and a slow vehicle pursuit ensued. The driver continued for several blocks, running red lights until eventually entering the parking structure located at 450 East 4th Street.
Do not reach red! Get on the ground!
342. No.
Abigail Red southbound, 4th and French. My unit's 10-3 until code 4.
Super now.
Do copy and route and unit for the code 3? 244 Alpha from 5th and 11.
We're gonna be entering 450 East 4th parking structure.
Entering the parking structure.
17, 450, just dropped it. Three, 4, 2, 998.
There's case number 2, folks. Any portion of this video we'd like to go over again. Any questions that you might have. Now's the time for it.
Yeah, can we go back to the body cam footage right before the shooting happened? It cut out for me for a second there.
No problem. Here we go.
Do not reach red! Get on the ground!
342. 998.
Okay.
That help you out?
Somewhat. I didn't get to see that first part, so I just needed to see it. I did see in the second part where you kind of do see him start to reach down. And did he ever clarify what the weapon was that he had? I did not hear that.
It was a pistol. There was the pistol on the seat of the car.
Can we also go back to just a little further on this one where the officer?
Now, on this version, you won't see it. You'll hear it. Actually, let's go back. Pay attention to the dispatch traffic here.
We're going to be entering 450 East 4th.
So the officer knows that he's been pursuing this vehicle. He knows he got him stopped. He just gave the address to dispatch.
Parking structure.
Entering the parking structure.
So now the officers get on the ground.
17, 450, just dropped it.
He just said that the subject was armed with a firearm and just dropped it.
942 998.
Okay, I was kind of sure. I just don't know police codes.
But yes, that was he marked it on dispatch time that subject was armed and had dropped it. All right, no more questions. No more video needs to be seen. Oh, hang on. Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you to. I don't know if there's a way to zoom in. Maybe I can zoom in. I can.
We don't have the ability to zoom in the studio.
It's okay. Can you go right back to where we see his hands up? And
On the body worn cam.
yeah, thank you.
So there's his hands up.
Do not reach.
And we see him go back to the passenger compartment or the driver's side passenger compartment of the vehicle.
Yeah,
Say that again.
Little frame right there where you can see him starting to reach in right before the cop shoots.
All right, that sounds like a clock to me, Big Ron. Let's put it up. Let's go with Nico. You were real quiet during all that. What do you think?
I was trying to take a look, and I was glad for the different rewinds that we saw, because the first time around, one, I didn't even see that he was coming at the officer with his hands up. I saw that from the Instagram, and then once we got the rewind, one thing I was curious about is whether it seemed like he dropped his weapon as he was approaching with his hands up, and then went back for the weapon, and that's where the police officer said, "Don't reach for it."
I don't know for 100%. I believe he gets out and drops the weapon back into the seat of the car.
Okay, and it's a rare case, I would say, because it didn't seem like he had malicious intent, but at the same time, he was being given instructions which he didn't follow. I also know that you know people, and maybe this person, I don't know if he was under the influence or not, but people just don't think straight when they're in those types of situations. So it's a tough call.
Okay. Once you listen to what other people's points of view, maybe they'll sway you one way or another. Let's go to Richard. What do you think, Richard?
Well, if he is reaching for his weapon, you don't wait until he gets the weapon in his hand to shoot. It's justified.
Doesn't go much further than that for you? That's it?
Not really. If you're going to shoot an officer, if you're going to shoot someone else, you have every right as a person to defend yourself, whether it's an officer or not.
Okay. Kim, what do you think?
I think he left the vehicle, started to come like he was going to surrender, but the moment he turned around and got in reaching distance from the gun, and the officer warned him 2 and I think 3 times. That's why I asked you to go back, because I think he warned him 3 times. So yeah, after that, I think it's reasonable.
Tim, what do you think, sir? What's your assessment?
I think it's completely reasonable. I think it's fully justified because that officer wants to go home just like everybody else does. And even if he didn't know he had a gun, or if he did, he's reaching for something after he was told not to. You know, the officer's got to do what he has to do. I think it was reasonable.
Okay. Jenny, your assessment for the beginning?
So at first, I can't remember who said they didn't see him coming. I think Nico with his hands up, and then the replay helped. But I didn't initially see him going back to the car. So my initial instinct was unreasonable. But after seeing the replay, it's definitely reasonable.
You know, it's a lot more fun when you guys don't pay attention on the video, for me anyway, this portion of it. But yeah, so no one's bothered. They didn't actually see the gun.
At first I questioned like what the officer said there, but the fact that the officer announces that he saw a gun makes me believe that he saw a gun. And then if he's reaching down, he's reaching for something. So at that point, you don't, like Richard said, you don't wait for him to pull out the gun and turn around. You take action.
Okay. I'm going to take a vote. I don't think we can beat this horse with a stick any longer. So let's go to, I'm going to go to you first, Nico. You were the one that seemed to have some doubt. What's your vote on this? Reasonable or not reasonable?
I was having some doubt, and again, it was because just that first go round, I didn't see those details. But just from listening to my peers here, I would say it is reasonable that that officer saw the gun, and as Tim mentioned, he probably wants to go home at the end of the day.
Okay, I'll take it. Reasonable there. Kim, your vote.
Yeah, I'm still with reasonable. Thought you said these were going to get harder, Joe.
They're going to get harder. Don't start bragging at case number 2, young lady. I promise you. I'm gonna have you guys thinking, and I'll get you. Yeah, I went a little better than some on paying attention to the videos the first 2, but they're not going to get any easier. Jenny, how you say, reasonable or not reasonable?
Reasonable.
Tim.
That's it.
I already believe this is fully reasonable, but the one argument that I think we could hear is the lack of angles, because there is no clear shot of what he was reaching for. But like I said, officer wants to go home. He saw it. Unfortunate that we couldn't, but reasonable.
Very good. And Mr. Reeves, I'm going to assume that your vote is reasonable.
Yeah, but as with everyone else, I just wish I saw it better. That placement of the body cam just got blocked by that spotlight.
And you're going to have that, folks. And these aren't filmed on a film stage where they plot it out and give you foreboding music before something bad happens. You're going to have that sometimes. And jurors have to do these. You have to make these decisions with the evidence that's presented. Excuse me. Sometimes it is prevented, but presented in this case. But we're going to go with that. Who am I missing here? Jenny. Oh, I got Jenny's vote. We're good. That is another reasonable force. Jason, any comments about this one?
Yeah, this one, I wouldn't even need to see the audio. That when he said, don't reach for it, that was enough for me that he believed he was reaching for a weapon. Take all the audio out or all the video out. I didn't need to see it. That person believed that his life was in danger. The officer did.
And you're saying that just by his own reaction that
yes,
when he pulled the trigger, he had a genuine belief.
Yeah, and in his mind, don't reach for it. That was in that moment, he did what he thought he needed to do based upon everything going on. Audio is very powerful in that one.
And he identified the gun, identified what was happening with the gun throughout the beginning also. So, and that was funny enough. That was 2 blocks from my first legal job. I looked at the map. I'm like, oh, wow, there's my office.
Was he pulling into your underground parking?
No, we had a parking lot, but yeah, it was literally
This isn't
2
some
blocks.
old, you didn't recognize that dude from Tinder or anything, did you?
No.
Yeah, he actually, this guy had a pretty extensive criminal history, and he had an
It's a
outstanding.
heavy gang area too.
Yeah, it sounded like it. He had gang affiliation, criminal history, and he had an outstanding warrant for a aggravated assault, I believe. So couldn't happen to a better guy in some cases. With that, Big Ron, let's talk about Drax's Pit. You know what? What was the message we got there, Big Ron? Is it Drax's Pit that's on hiatus, or both of them are on hiatus?
From what she said, it looks like it's going to be Drax's Pit that's going to be on hiatus until after CPAC.
All right, well, no problem, folks. Drax's Pit. Drax is one of the most entertaining guys on X. If you go to Spaces, you got to catch a Drax's Pit or a Drax Space. But he does a live stream on Friday nights. Him, Roden, and you never know who's going to stop in there. But it's super entertaining. They'll talk a little bit on some politics, but Drax keeps it light and it's fun and entertaining. And with that, he's also a co-host, I believe, at least the producer. I don't know what they call him on the Daily Fix. He's just the guy that's always there making things happen. But on the Daily Fix, this is Kay Daly's Fix. She's a Washington insider. She'll keep you up to date on all the ins and outs of politics, and she knows how the sausage is made. Let's run those two promos, Big Ron.
As liberals go crazy and throw their fits, come on down to Drax's Pit. Yeah, it's Drax's Pit. What?
Folks, like I say, the Daily Fix, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 6 o'clock Eastern. It's a live stream. You should catch it. If you follow me, I've reposted every time it pops up. It's absolutely entertaining. If you want to know what, like I say, what's going on behind the curtain up there, Kay's got her ear to the rails. Before we go any further, appreciate you guys reposting, but I would appreciate if you guys would repost a little bit more. Let's let folks know about this. This is a great show. The only reason we don't have 1 million people in here because 1 million people don't know about it yet. But we firm believers in it, and I think many of you are firm believers. This is a great show, and more people need to see it. So repost, share, and share. With that, Big Ron, case number 3.
Case number 3 coming up.
This is a critical incident community briefing about an officer-involved shooting that occurred on November 16th, 2025 in the city of Chino. This briefing will contain relevant audio, video, and still images that may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. On November 16th, 2025, at approximately 9 p.m., the Chino Police Department received a call from a nearby witness reporting that they heard a woman screaming for help inside a residence located at 16250 Homecoming Drive. Here is an excerpt of the call between the caller and the dispatcher.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
Hi, the address of my emergency is...
Okay. And what's going on there? Do you need police or paramedics?
I think both. My neighbors are having a domestic dispute and he's hurting her really bad and they're yelling and screaming.
You can see this happening or?
Yes, I can see it through the window and I hear it.
Okay. And so it's physical?
Yes, absolutely.
When you're saying that it's being physical, can you describe to me what's happening?
He's hitting her. She's crying for help.
The following call is from another neighbor who was able to hear the disturbance going on in the residence.
What is your address?
It's
Okay.
right next to me. And I know that there's some other type of abuse because I heard her say, don't kill me, something with a knife. It's a little hard to understand. But I heard her saying, don't stab me. This is the second time I've called, and within like the last week.
Officers.
Charlie 6, make an entry. Chino Police! Drop the knife! No! Ma'am, get back. Drop the knife now! Drop it now! Drop the knife!
Here is footage from the second responding officer.
Drop it! Hey, brother, we want to make sure that you're okay, right?
Officers immediately rendered medical aid to Johnson. He was then transported to a local hospital where he was treated for non-life-threatening injuries.
Case number 3, folks. Any part of that video we'd like to see again?
We see the first one was the piece where it shows where the woman was in that room. I wasn't sure if she was over to the right or not.
Okay.
Charlie 6 making entry. Chino police! Drop the knife! No! Ma'am, get back. Drop the knife now! Drop it now! Drop the knife!
Do you see her there in the kitchen?
Yeah, I see her.
Here is footage from the second responding officer.
That help? Any other portion of the video we'd like to see or any questions?
No questions here from me.
All right, Big Ron, let's put up a clock. I'm going to come to you first, Jenny. What do you think?
Oh boy. So he may have still had the knife, but he was leaving the room. And his back was to them. He wasn't a danger to the wife. He wasn't an immediate danger to them. So to me, I don't think at that particular point in time, it would have been reasonable to shoot.
So you think that the officers, it's not reasonable to believe the officers there was a fear for themselves or a third person?
Not at that particular moment, no.
Okay, tell you what, let's go to you next, Tim. What do you think?
In my opinion, I think they could have maybe attempted less lethal, but as soon as they walked through the door there, he's screaming, "Shoot me." Right there, that labels him suicidal, essentially. So they have to, they have to end the situation as fast as possible. That way, no one else will get hurt, including themselves or the woman.
Well, does that fit in the narrative that you're allowed to use deadly force only in the defense of yourself, a third person? And I'll say there's a third leg to this in law enforcement, and that is the general public. If somebody shoots at 2 people and then runs down the street and is running from you, you can assume that they're dangerous. They just shot at 2 people, then they could shoot the next 2 people they come into. So you could make a case for it then. But aside from that, there is no other provisions of using deadly force.
Well, that's interesting.
I'll let you think about it. Let's go to Mr. Reeves, Richard Reeves.
I never like shooting a person who is actively disengaging from the conflict. It's true he's dangerous, but it seems more of a personal dispute than a I am going to shoot everyone up sort of thing. And it doesn't seem like that he is going to, flagrantly hurt other people. I just go officer's call on that one.
Richard, I feel like that's a cop-out, but I'm gonna let you hold on to that one for a minute. Let's go to Nico.
So I have to look at it from the original reaction. We did see the video again. And for this one, I really have to put myself, just the first time I saw the video, what was my gut reaction of what was the perpetrator was going to do next, because that's what I felt is yes, he had put his hands up, shoot me, and the police officer wasn't going to, and then the way he moved, when he moved out of sight, he moved with intent. He was going to do something. At that point, I don't know if we know from the reporting or not. We don't know if it's just him and the wife. We don't know if it's him, if there's anybody else, maybe a child, or if he has any other weapons. So the initial reaction for me was that he jerked to the side out of view, almost like he was about to stab her. That was my initial thought. So that's what I'm gonna go with, as opposed to kind of the rewatch of the video where we can see he's kind of farther away.
So are you saying that it's reasonable because why again?
Yes, I'm saying it is reasonable because when he moved out of the officer's line of sight, it looked like he was going with intent to hurt somebody or intent to do something. And at this point, to me, he seemed dangerous.
Okay, Kim, what do you think?
So, from what we know, we don't know if there is anybody else in that house to know if somebody else is in danger in another room. I do understand that initially he went toward her, but we see that there's an island between them toward the end of the video. I'm leaning more toward the fact that he yelled, "Shoot me," kind of like he was warning suicide by a cop. So my question is harm to a third person, wouldn't that also include harm to himself? Like if the officer is shooting to wound instead of kill, wouldn't
Okay,
that?
you can't. If
Okay.
you use a firearm, even if I shoot you in your big toe, that's still deadly force, and you can't use deadly force to prevent someone's suicide. You can use all force up to deadly force, but you can't use deadly force to kill someone to stop them from, killing themselves. So, yeah,
Okay.
suicide would not be one of the that could not be a third person. You can't kill a guy to prevent him from killing himself.
Okay, then that would have answered that question. So I'm kind of leaning more toward unreasonable just because we can see that there's an island between him and the initial victim.
So that leads you at leaning towards unreasonable? I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't, like, there was something preventing him from getting to her, but I don't know because it's hard to see how close the officer was to where the officer could get to him before he got to
Well,
her.
now, and this is a good example of giving deference to an officer in a quickly evolving situation. They're coming up from stairs to, it's not like an open railing where they can see through a ground level. They've got to poke their heads up top to see what's going on. Do you think it's reasonable that the officer would make this layout like, oh, well, even if he runs towards her, there's a piece of furniture between him and her, so she's safe?
If the officer couldn't see that, then no, that's not reasonable. But that's what I'm saying. If the officer could not see that there was anything between him, and it actually took you pausing it for us to even realize there was a gap. So in the heat of the moment, the officer wouldn't have been able to acknowledge that. So now I am leaning toward reasonable. Thanks for making me second guess myself, Joe. I'm leaning toward reasonable.
That's literally my job.
I know.
It's literally my job. Okay.
Joe, I fell out of the space, so I missed the playback and the freeze, I think.
I tell you what, let's pause that. We got time, don't we, Big Ron? We have time to review that?
We sure do.
Let me find my video. Her. What is that? Case 3, right? There we go. Case 3. By the way, this gentleman did not die. Y'all knew that, right? Just flesh wound.
Yeah, that's why I asked my question.
But it's still deadly force used. I see what you're saying, but yeah, we're not allowed to do that. No one is. You're not allowed to do it either.
Drop the knife. Ma'am, get back. Drop the knife now. Drop it now. Drop the knife.
Okay, so now you can see what the officer sees when he poked his head up above the railing there. The gentleman runs back into the hallway. There's a woman. We're assuming it's the wife. There's a woman standing in the kitchen.
Here is footage from the second responding officer.
Hey, brother, we want to make sure that you're okay, right?
Officers immediately.
I'm going to tell you, Kim, that sure is a small little island. Looked like a table to me. I don't know if that's much of a buffer between you and the assailant with a knife.
Yeah, when you replayed it, I saw the table too because I saw the chair. But at first, it looked like the top of an island.
Yeah, and initially I thought he could see everything, the officer, but his view of where he was going initially was blocked. So it did look like he was going toward the wife. So now oh my gosh.
Welcome to my side, Jenny.
I know, right? Well,
Clock's a ticking. If you got some questions, I can try to help you out with that. I can tell you what the law says is that you can use deadly force in defense of yourself or a third person, and the standard is what a reasonable person would believe. Or is it and don't look at it like, well, I've got to put myself in shoes. Just look at it as, is it reasonable to believe that the officer was afraid, whether the threat turned out to be a real threat or not? Just was it reasonable when he pulled the trigger that he believed himself or a third person were in danger?
Yes.
yeah.
I have a comment on that actually. So I noticed one frame right when he came up to the top of the steps. The guy, the suspect, he spun around. So all that did for him was make the police officers think that he possibly had a gun too. Because he's running away, and then right before they shoot, he tries to turn around real fast.
Well, he's got a big knife in his hands, looks like a chef's knife in his hands.
Right. Well, you never know. Maybe he had a gun in his pants. You never know what's going through the officer's brain.
And once again, I think the officer made his decision when he saw him shoot out of sight and then ran up the stairs. I believe he had made his decision that the assailant was going to harm somebody. And then when he came into sight and saw him, he was already prepared to shoot at that point because he felt he was going to harm somebody.
Okay, let's vote on it. What do you say? Where's Jenny at? Everybody's all over the place here. Jenny, what do you say? Reasonable or
I'm
not?
going to say reasonable because I think the officer thought he was going for the woman.
Okay, reasonable for Jenny. Big Ron, you're okay, or is this thing doing it on its own? Everybody's moving around the screen.
It's got to be doing it. I keep moving it back and it keeps switching it back.
Okay, done with StreamYard. Nico, your vote, sir.
Yes, I'm going to say reasonable. Once again, I take away all the replays and think about the initial reaction. I felt like the officer and that he was going to harm someone, so he went up the stairs and reacted appropriately. So reasonable.
Okay, Tim, what do you think, sir?
Absolutely justified, reasonable.
Richard Reeves, your vote, sir.
I'm having to go with unreasonable at that point. It was on a nice edge, but the thing is, if he had ran towards the officers with that knife, I would have voted reasonable. If you're within 20 feet of someone, if you have a knife and you are within 20 feet of someone with an undrawn gun, you can kill them. And officers are trained that way. Sorry, I heard a lot of talk from Mr. M and Jason here, but I'd rather let him go a little bit until he actually presents a firearm. I would not shoot.
Okay, that's a not reasonable vote. Kim, your vote.
Yeah, from witness testimony, we already know that the woman was in fear for her life. And the fact that he charged to her, and looking back, I don't think that there was 20 feet between her and him. So it's reasonable, in my view as well, that the officer felt she was in danger.
Okay, Big Ron, that's a 4-1. Another reasonable no-bill vote. Let's post the verdict.
Jason, what do you think about this one? I'm smiling One comment that was brought up was they should have tried less lethal. You don't bring less lethal to a knife fight. That's deadly force. And I think that when the officer hit the stairwell and he defied the initial orders, they could have dropped him right there. He was well within 21 feet. They couldn't go in any further. You never let a suspect, they're there for a felony arrest. This guy, they got 2 complaints, a woman hearing of another woman saying, "Don't stab me." The information they had in there, this is a violent domestic. The woman is scared of her life. You do not let that guy get out of your sight, period. I don't know what's in that back room. If there's a child back there, are there guns back there? Just obey their orders, drop the goddamn knife, and get down. I don't think the officers had a choice, to be honest with you. This guy's going to jail, period. He's going to be under arrest. And the last thing I want is a barricaded suspect with hostages after he tried to kill somebody and after he defied us. I am 100% this was justified.
I think justified too, but I'm there for a different reason. You listen to the 911 calls. There were 2 neighbors. No one ever called from inside the house. How many people were inside the home? Does anybody know? Is it reasonable to believe there were 3 people inside the house?
That's one assumption we haven't addressed. Whether
That's
it was
not really,
empty or whether there were more people.
and I don't say it as an assumption. I said, if you asked the officer why he shot, and he said, I didn't know who else was in the house, and this guy's obviously a threat, you can demonstrate that. Is it reasonable for him to say that he would have, is it reasonable for him to believe that someone else could have been in the house?
It's possible.
I say it is. That's where people live. They live in houses. I don't know how many people live in this house. The wife didn't call. These are neighbors calling. I'm hearing it through the wall. And they get there, they hear the screams, they make entry, exigent circumstances, absolutely, and they're confronted with a guy with a knife on a call where a man was threatened to kill his wife with a knife. But I don't know, is there a baby in there? Is there another woman in there? Is another man in there? We don't know. I think it's reasonable if the officer said, I shot him because he was going back in. I don't know who else was back there. There could have been someone back there. And if they were, it would be up to this guy not to kill him. It wouldn't be up to the officers to stop it. So yes, I say reasonable. I just got there from a different reason, and I wouldn't say it's an assumption. It's saying, is it reasonable for the officer to believe? That's literally what we're asking. Is it reasonable? And I think it is reasonable to believe that there could have been a third person inside that house. But Jason's right too. He could have dropped the dude at the top of the stairs. All well within reason, I think, on that one. But I thought that'd hang you up. And it did a little bit on the guy running away. It's hard to see somebody. Sometimes somebody getting shot running away is the right thing, but it's hard to see that sometimes. But before we go on to our next case, I want to do a promotion on a new content provider tonight, and that is Cancel Me Later. You'll see him on X, but I think he also does it on a Rumble Stream. But he's got a podcast and a pretty entertaining space show. Check this out.
I don't know how I feel about it. I've been living in a hole just trying to get about it. They used to clown on my struggle, I can't forget about it. They think they know and how I live, they don't know shit about it. These losers fake when they be talking, just be real about it. How you talking all that shit when you ain't really about it? Addicted to the struggle, I ain't really live without it. I'm really feeding for success, dog, I can't live without it.
Yeah, folks, Cancel Me Later, pretty entertaining podcast. I've heard a lot of folks talking about this guy. He's making some noise out there in the space world, so he must put on a pretty entertaining space. I'm going to catch one this week. But he also runs a podcast with it. Interesting enough, you caught at the very end of his promo, he's running for Senate out of the state of Illinois. He is a conservative, American first, pretty much all the grassroots blue blood things that we talk about, this guy's all about. So give him a follow and support his work out there. With that big run, we're at case 4, right? Let's run case 4. It's time for it. For those of you that are verbal only, an officer receives a bolo. Be on the lookout for a vehicle involved in an armed
I'm at the
carjacking.
southeast
He locates
side.
the vehicle and attempts to
Fine
stop.
business. Holding out for a felony stop. Driver, roll down your windows! All right, 12 Bravo Limit Central, vehicles taking off northbound. I'm 1031. All right, westbound, come out to Claude. Get on the ground, do it now! Get on the ground, do it now! Driver, passenger, get out! Get out on your face! Get on your face, do it now! Stop, you're gonna get bit! Here! 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 Talking! Here! Here! Dog out! Watch out! Dog out! Dog out! Talking, buddy, talking! Go! Talking, here! Go! Talking! Watch out, dog! Watch out! I got him! Go get some milk! Talking! Ow! Okay! Get on the fucking ground! Okay! Talking! Okay! Hold on. Okay! Oh! Put your hand on your back, do it now! Okay.
There's your fourth case. Now, this is not the use of deadly force, but the use of a dog is absolutely serious, could cause serious bodily injury. So it is absolutely a use of force. The background on it, there was a bolo. Be on the lookout. That means they have some information on a armed carjacker suspect. This vehicle matched that. Turned out it was that person. Makes an attempt to stop, attempts to do a felony stop. Is where you call the subject out of the vehicle with commands. It didn't get that far. The vehicle took off. Subsequent police chase, ending in a traffic accident. And the driver runs from the vehicle, and the police officer pulls out the dog and sicks the dog onto the gentleman and restrains him and cuffs him. Any portion of this video we'd like to see again?
I would actually like to enjoy the dog biting the guy again, if that's possible.
I was gonna say the same thing. I'm not
That's third. That's third.
That sounds biased to my jury, Mr. Witness. But let's go back and look at it.
It's for my own entertainment. Sorry.
Talking! Here! Dog out! Watch out! Dog out! Talking, buddy, talking! Go! Talking, here! Go! Talking! Watch out, dog! Watch out! I got him! Go get some milk! Talking! Okay! Get on the fucking ground! Okay! Talking! Okay! Hold on. Okay! Oh! Put your hand on your back, do it now! Okay.
Any other
Wow.
portions of the video we'd like to see again?
He
So was
complied
it-
so fast.
Was it one continuous video from the very beginning, or did we swap over to the K9?
I believe it was the K9 was the officer that originally initiated the stop.
Okay.
How would that be material to you? Because now that you say that, I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. This is a Sergeant Rogers body cam that makes the initial stop. Nope, you're right. it changes over to another department that assisted in the pursuit. This is going to be a VSO, which is Sheriff's Office Canine Deputy Bergeron.
VSO will be Volusia County.
Yeah, Port Orange is in Florida, right?
Yeah, it's just south of me. We will, in fact, hunt you down in Florida. FAFO.
Right.
And now it's my turn to have some nostalgia because I went to school down in Daytona. So yeah, you see all sorts of things.
Well, my friend, nostalgia comes with a timer. Big Ron, clock 'em. Let's go with you first, Nico. What's your initial impression on this? Use of force was reasonable?
For me, yes, I do think it is. We already knew from the narrative that the perpetrators were involved in an armed carjacking, if I remember correctly.
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly. So there's already danger there with this entire call. And then to have, I believe it was at least two come out of the car and one take off running. Again, at that point, I don't think that they know whether he's armed or not. So the best thing is to lose the canine officer, and I think they were definitely well within their rights and reasonable to do so.
Okay. Does it weigh into your equation of how many officers were actually there and, how much of a threat this guy actually posed? I mean, I know what's alleged, I know what was said, but I mean, when you're looking at it, don't you think an officer should judge what's in front of him, not what was reported? Not saying that can't be part of the assessment, you know what I mean? But in general, was this guy really a threat? Did he need a dog to bite his hand?
Well, and there maybe that's where it would be worth going back and maybe seeing the footage again, because at that point we don't know if they had a bead on him as he took off, and whether they felt he was gonna lose them before they released the canine.
There was a cop on him before the canine got to him.
Okay, I see. So
Yeah,
so maybe then that there is a question there. Then we might need to see that again.
Well, let's see what everybody else. There's some pretty thoughtful philosophers in here. Maybe they'll be able to convince you their way of thinking. Jenny, what do you think?
I would like to go back to see just right before the dog grabs his arm, or maybe a little bit before, where he says, "Watch out, a dog, watch out, a dog."
This is why you get kicked out of Spaces, Jenny. This is why they do that.
Here! Talking! Here! Dog out! Watch out! Dog out! Talking, buddy, talking! Go! Talking, here! Go! Talking! Watch out! Dog! Watch out! I got him!
All right, that person standing up is a police officer, and he does say, "Watch out, dog."
Go get some milk! Talking! Ow! Okay! Get on the fucking ground! Okay! Talking!
That help you out, Jenny?
It does. Yep. I think that he wasn't completely in custody and subdued at that point, so the dog was justifiably still allowed to go for biting him.
So are you using force that if someone is not restrained, then you could use force until they are? Or would you use proportional force to take them into custody, the least amount possible?
He had a gun. We know that, or we suspect that. That's what was reported. So the officer is not in full, the officer that was standing next to him was not in full control of this guy yet. So he still posed a danger to the officer, in my opinion.
Okay, I'll buy that. Let's go to Richard Reeves. Tell me what you think, sir.
It's justified. He let the dogs of war go. I mean, they weren't cooperating. They're already felony arrest or whatever situation, and I have no force with the officers putting them under control.
Okay. How do you view the use of a dog? It's like level of force. What would you call that? Is it in line with the taser? Maybe could it cause more damage than a taser? Using a taser like the barometer, where would you put the dog?
Well, I'd consider the taser completely useless. I'd consider a dog better than a taser. Taser, you need to hit with both probes.
That's not what I'm asking, my friend. I'm just asking, as far as which use of force would you consider, if you had it all in a ladder, where would the dog bite be next, in compared to where the taser rung is in your mind? Higher or lower?
Higher. Better. More effective.
Okay. Let's go to Tim. Tim, what do you think?
I think it's pretty justifiable. We don't have the angle from the officer who looks to be subduing him, and he was screaming. He did also go on his walkie-talkie and announce, "Hey, dogs down, dogs coming." The one thing that I could only criticize about it is he did wait a little long to start giving the command "foos," which is release. And, that's the dog took 3 times to be commanded to let go. Dog could probably use a little more training, I would think. But other than that, justifiable. They knew he was dangerous. Really, what's the argument?
Well, I guess where do you see the danger? And I know what the report says, but did you see anything?
Well, armed carjacking, well, he's instantly there. And then he also just tacked on another felony by eluding the police the first time. So it's all justifiable.
So eluding the police is justified. So what level of force are you cool with on when someone eludes the police? Once you capture them, how much force can you get?
You're already on a felony takedown. So on a felony takedown, well, you have a felony arrest coming for you, and then you run. That just tacks on another felony. You're not allowed to evade the police. That's a felony in most states, as far as I know.
Right, but when they're going to call you a felon? They're going to call you a felon when they put the handcuffs on you? At what part in the process are you called a felon? According to the Constitution.
I guess after you're given a verdict, guilty or not guilty, right?
Right, and when I talked about Garner versus Tennessee, that's what that case was all about. The man was denied his due process. What if he was found not guilty of this burglary? You couldn't go back and take the bullet out of his head, and you wouldn't be able to come back and take these injuries off this young man's hand.
Well, that's why they used the dog, so that he did.
That's the injury I'm talking about, is the dog.
Well, he'll be all right.
Okay, let's go to Tink. Tink, what do you think?
So my question is at the moment he releases the dog, when the timer starts? Because at that moment, he doesn't know that other cop already has him. He just knows what was in the report and that he tried to flee. And I mean, is it considered like once he releases the dog, you can't take a bullet once you pull the trigger back? So can he technically call off the dog before he gets there to stop it?
Yes, that's actually part of the trials, that you're able to stop the dog.
So
with verbal commands, by the way, you have to do it with verbal commands.
Right. So my question is why is the officer that quote got him, because that's what he says, not already cuffing him? He was just standing there. So like,
well, the other officer with the dog told him, "I'm releasing the dog, get back."
Okay, well then, yeah, like once you release the, I still think that he probably should have caught off the dog, but at the same time, not until he was right up on there. And then by that time, the officer had also, when he yelled, "I released the dog," the officer moved back. So the man could have had room to take off again at that point. So you don't call him off. So I would say reasonable at that point. Yeah.
Because he could have run again.
Hey, that's why I brought up the the body cam that we didn't see from the officer who was trying to detain him. We don't know if they were fighting.
Well,
or...
you can't sit on a jury and say, I want you to go out there and find me some more evidence.
Yeah.
Actually, technically, that's not true in a
You're
grand jury.
right,
Actually,
right.
you could subpoena, but we can't do it tonight. But you have to go on what I presented you. I mean, if what you saw tonight, y'all think that's reasonable, I'm not trying. I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm not trying to sway you one way or the other. I'm just asking you: are you considering all these factors?
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead,
And
Kim.
then
I'm
I think
sorry.
from my stand, I may need more of a primer on dogs because I'm a product of YouTube in some cases, and I've seen a dog being released for less, and it seemed like he was well justified in this case. And I actually appreciate Kim's comment because I think at the moment of release, when we're first seeing this video, we're not entirely sure that that officer sees that the situation is in control.
Okay. Well, it has come to that time again. Will we vote? Kim, I'm coming to you first. You seem to struggle the most. I'm putting you on the spot. Reasonable or unreasonable?
I'm going reasonable.
Very good. Tim, your vote, sir.
Reasonable.
Jenny, your vote.
Good dog. Reasonable.
Mr. Richard Reeves, how do you vote?
Reasonable, but I'm going to have to say that Jim Bob just warned me about you in Patriot Chat.
Well, Jim Bob, typically when he's talking about me, he's lying. That's how you can tell.
Sure.
Can't trust that guy, man. Not that Jim Bob guy. But you guys should follow him out there. If you see him in X-Land, give him a follow. He's a great guy. But when he was talking bad about me, he's lying. If he's talking good, he's telling the truth. That's how you can tell.
Reasonable.
So I think I'm reasonable with Richard, reasonable with I hadn't got to Tim. Tim, what do you say, sir?
You got me. I'm a reasonable.
I'm down to, you know what? I'm down to my last one. It's Nico. You threw me off there, Richard, with Jim Bob trying to mess with my game. Nico.
Dude, I did not lie. It was 30 seconds ago.
Nico, what say you?
Yes, I'm going to go with reasonable as well.
Okay. I guess turning the dogs on the people, I guess that's okay. Jason, any comment on this one?
I love dogs. They're so cool to watch work. And yes, they can call them off. And actually, there's kind of a use of force continuum on dogs. You have presence of a dog just sitting there barking. You have an on leash release, and then you have a leash release. But I think this was completely justified for the off leash pursuit. And I don't think the officer knew that the other officer was in contact with him. And I've been on the receiving end of that, where you're trying to arrest somebody and a dog comes in, and I greatly appreciated the dogs at times. It was totally, that was a fun video. I laughed. He got the glove. That was funny.
Yeah, but and I will tell you, if you've never been bit by a dog, in particular a police dog, I've been in the suit, I've been hit with padding. Them damn things, I can't imagine getting bit like that without any protection. That young man's hand was in quite a bit of pain. And it's meant to do that way. And Jason's not wrong. There is a force continuum for dogs. And on this one, I'll be honest, I'm close to being on the fence, but I'm not. I think it's warranted when you add up all the totality of the circumstances. Be on the lookout. He's already shown his propensity to be dangerous by breaking into another vehicle. And then you had the backup that he could possibly be armed. So it seems to be reasonable, the safest way to subdue him at this point, instead of fighting him on the ground, let the dog do it. But I'll tell you, when you watch these videos, and you're going to know what I'm talking about, Jason, you got to watch some of these handlers out there. They want their dog to get a bite. So sometimes they'll be a little quick to get out of the way. Don't subdue him yet. Let me get him bit. But I don't know if that was what was going on in this. I agree with the jury's decision, but I think it was close. Jason, you don't agree that you think it's close?
No, I don't. I don't. I think it was. What was the original reason?
Chase a crook up in Minnesota. We chase crooks down here, but we don't let the dogs just eat on people.
What was the original? Was it an armed carjacking?
Armed carjacking. Be on the lookout.
Yep. No,
both matched
totally fine.
Vehicles description and person description. So
yep.
Yeah, I say
totally
with that is, you take that out of the equation, I say that would be close to something you'd have to look at.
Then it's questionable. Yes, I agree. But with the initial information and why they were looking for him and the fact that you fled, I think that's fine. This is a fleeing felon who just convicted of first-degree assault, basically an armed robbery, and I think it's totally fine. Well, that's the information they had. Let the dogs have fun.
Now, dog bites are fun, but it is absolutely serious bodily injury. Those dog bites aren't cavalier, and you'll remember it. Nicole says, I've been bit by horses and dogs and cows. That's like that zoo commercial. It's showtime.
Oh my.
Oh my. Yeah, that's what I was missing. Oh my. That's a lot of shit to be bitten by there, Nicole. You'll have to come to the after party and tell us about that. Let's see, where we at on time? All right, it's time for a big, for 3D response, Big Ron. Let's roll that promo and let Jason get us up to speed.
I see you entering, take a right. You're going to proceed down the long hall, all the way to the end. You're going to go till the end where you're intersect to the classrooms. Keep going, I see you moving forward. Subject is held up in classroom 203.
Yeah, folks, 3D response. It's a full layered, multi-layered school safety system that Jason's been developing over the last 10 plus years. I say developing, he's actually in, this is not a concept. It's in schools. It's in almost 20 schools, probably more than that by Christmas, it sounds like. But Jason, you're fighting a fight up there in Minnesota because Minnesota is considering passing essentially a building code that would require a system like yours that's patented to be in every school to preserve life in these school shootings. But what's the latest with you? It's amazing. It's an amazing story. You know, this.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. Actually, there's 3 bills in the House right now. 2 of the bills are to define it, and one of the bills is a sister bill to the House and the Senate to bond it and fund it. But it is a battle. My legislation up here, for lack of a better term, is retarded. I'm not sure how else to say it. Some of the bills they're bringing up, so there's a lot of stupid crap going on, but there's a good bunch of legislators that really believe in what we're doing. They've came and seen it, and they're fighting very hard to kind of get this to move. And it sounds like I'll be testifying on probably 3 or 4 different levels to convince others that we need to define what school safety is. And that's what this bill does.
No, absolutely. You know, we had these 2 close mass shootings. Well, I guess technically a mass shooting at the Old Dominion, but in both cases, they were confronted with force, and in particular, the children in the Jewish school. When the guy drove in, the officers, the security there, were standing at the door, and they confronted him right then. No child was lost, and the rest of those children were safe. And honestly, that's what 3D response system does, except you don't have to drive in to the campus security to get that type of protection. Everyone has that protection from the get. And the minute something like that kicks off, there are police buttons in the classrooms and in areas. They're like a fire alarm. You touch that, somebody touches that, it notifies police. They need police needed there now, and it locks all the students down into safe rooms, typically classrooms. It varies from school to school, whatever's efficient. and provides them ballistic protection. They can be there for hours, and they're not going to be accosted, touched, or anything by a madman. It leaves the madman out in the open areas so the police can come there and take care of business. But Minnesota, we're in the fight, folks. If you're in Minnesota, send an email to both your state representative and your state senator and let them know that just a simple thing. Vote yes on the SHIELD Act. I'm going to be looking for it. It's a common sense solution to a crazy, insane problem that we shouldn't even have to be talking about, but we do. But 3D response to make it like these last two incidents where the bad guy gets killed and the innocence is not slaughtered, quite frankly. But the SHIELD Act in the state of Minnesota. All right, let's get to where we at on time. Big Ron. Yes, it is time. Case number 5. Let's hit it.
Where is your emergency?
Oh, yeah. 54 Minnesota Avenue in Buffalo, New York. 54 Minnesota.
Okay, 54 Minnesota. Is it an upper, lower, single family?
Single family.
What's going on there?
My tenant just called me. There's a gentleman that lives in the house, and he seems to have some mental issues, and I don't know if the dude is schizophrenic or bipolar, but he has these temper tantrums. And,
okay.
One of my tenants said he's locked in his room because the guy is acting out. He hasn't told me to hurry up and get over there.
Is it an upper, lower, or single family?
Single family, man. Front door, single family.
Okay.
Yeah, I need this guy removed from the house. I mean, at least tonight. He needs to go to, like, the UCMC or something.
Do you know if there are any weapons?
I don't think so, but...
What's the male's name? No big deal. Where?
I can't tell you, miss.
That's fine. Where is he?
They call him DC. He's in the house. He lives in the house. He's at a guy's bedroom door, banging on the door, threatening him. And the guy is always leery of him. So
okay, stay on the line for medical.
Medical.
Ambulance, what is the address?
54 Minnesota. You don't need an ambulance, don't miss. Well, go ahead.
You just said he was having a mental health crisis and needs to go to ECMC.
Right. But an ambulance? An ambulance can take?
That's what an ambulance is for. What is the address?
54 Minnesota, sir.
Are you at that location?
I'm over there now. I'm getting ready to go over there right now.
All right, and what's bothering him?
Huh?
What's bothering him when you say mental health crisis?
He has a mental issue, sir. I think he's schizophrenic or something. So
How old is he?
Called me. He's worried about his life.
How old is he?
At his door. Huh?
How old is he?
50. Roughly 50, early 50s.
Okay.
Hey, man, I got to hurry up and get to this house.
Oh, yep, got that. Is he violent?
Huh?
Was he violent?
Yeah. He seems like, yes.
Okay. We'll put a call in for the ambulance to go check him out.
Okay, sir, but you need to send a police car.
Yep, they're going to go with him. They always, they go with him.
Yeah, okay. All right. Please hurry. The guy said he was in trouble. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
911, where's your emergency?
Yeah, I called for an emergency about 10 minutes ago in regards to 54 Minnesota Avenue.
Okay.
They're supposed to send a car over here.
Yep.
Okay, so now I come all the way from Amherst, man, and I'm here. And then ain't no car here, man. I don't want to.
Yeah, it's only been 10 minutes. You got to give them some time. They'll be there as soon as they can.
All right. Well, I'm the landlord. I'm getting ready to go in.
911, where's your emergency?
Oh, yeah, leave the door. Here at 54 Minnesota.
54 Minnesota in
I've been
Buffalo?
waiting on you. Yeah, 54 minutes. I got a serious emergency here.
Okay, are you in an apartment or a single-family house?
It's a single-family house, and it's the third call I made. Is the police coming or not?
Okay, I am showing that the call is still waiting for an officer to be freed up. It's a little bit busy. What's going on with the male that's having the mental health crisis?
Yeah, well, he's got a weapon, and his other roommates in the house, and this guy is threatening them, and they all locked in their room, scared. Now, I'm standing here with this guy, trying to hold his attention, but now he done locked me out. Now, the ambulance is standing out here waiting on the police. Everybody waiting on the police.
Okay, understood. What kind of weapon does he have?
A knife.
He has a knife in his hand right now?
No, not right now, but it's in his room, and he got it on the dresser. He just had it in his hand. I'm trying to just distract him. Can you please just send the police so we can get this man out of the house?
Okay, I will update the call. What does he look like? Is he white, black, or Hispanic? So I have a description on him.
He's a black guy.
What is he wearing today?
Yeah, I'm the man. He got on the sweatshirt.
What color?
Blue or black, man.
Dark colored? Okay. All right, I will put a call.
I'm here at the house. I'm here on the front porch in the rain. Okay?
Okay, understood. I'll let them know. They'll be over there as soon as they can, okay?
But not as soon as they can, man, because this is an emergency.
Okay, sir, I understand. Unfortunately, we only have so many officers on the street, okay? I'll let them know this is going on. Thank you. Bye-bye.
There's a couple Edward cars. I have a mental health crisis at 54 Minnesota. Per AMR, the male has 3 people at knife point currently. It's a black male wearing a blue or black sweatshirt.
Oh, shit. We'll have to block it off. Cars gonna see you. What?
I'm the landlord.
No. Who at?
54 Minnesota.
Yeah, who got people at knife point?
Right here.
Is it here?
Inside this home. They're not at night. All right. So the gentleman.
Fuck it.
I'm the landlord. I got my keys.
But who's it? Okay, what's the threat?
My tenant. He got 2 other tenants in there. Like they're locked in their room.
Okay.
But he done lost his mind.
Okay.
He's either bipolar, schizophrenic.
Okay.
Okay. I unlocked the front door. He should be right here
All
in
right.
the front room.
Well, if it's unlocked, watch out. Let us go first.
Okay, I'll open the front door. There's another door you can go in.
Okay. Does he got any weapons with him? Do you got any weapons with him? Or you don't know?
He doesn't supposed to, sir.
All right. Well, I call and say you do.
Right here.
What's his name?
Yo.
What's his name?
DC.
DC! Back up.
Just come on out, folks.
Give me room. Give me room. Watch out. Open the door.
Open the door. We're going to kick the door in.
We're going to kick the door in.
Who's in there with him?
It's just him? All right, can you go that way? Go that way. Go that way. Go that way. I don't want nobody behind me. Go that way.
You don't have anybody at knife point?
They're upstairs.
Yeah, but somebody called and said they had.
That's me. 20 minutes. He been in their room with a knife. I've been standing here talking to him through the window.
So nobody has a knife?
In that room.
Call the FBI. My name is George Black. Hey, man, is that if we open the door? Call the FBI.
What's his name?
George Eugene Butler. Eugene Butler.
Yo, what's his name?
George Eugene. You got the key? Give us the key.
George Eugene Butler. You got a key, you said?
Call the FBI.
Oh man, open the door so we can talk to you.
Are you the FBI?
Too many keys to go to figure out what.
How do you know you have a knife?
Tenants is upstairs in their bedroom. They just called me and woke me up and said, "You got a knife."
I will open the door for the FBI. All right, we're the FBI.
They're here. FBI's here. Open the door.
Inside your bed, underneath the door. Somebody said, I don't know, on the radio.
What's up?
Just inside your bed, underneath the door. I ain't got a basket. I know you ain't got a bag. You ain't the FBI. You are a drug Listen. Yeah, right. Playtime over. Let's go. Stop. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Drop the knife. Drop the knife. Shots fired. Shots fired. Stay down. Stay down. Stay down. Stay down. Stay down. Stay down. Get the knife. Get the knife. Hey, there's one right here. One right here. Here, get some gloves. Start, idiot. I got gloves. I ain't got it back. Sir, you don't got the key? You are a drug dealing cartel. Of terrorists. I know you ain't got no back. Listen. Yeah, right. Playtime over. There you go. Stop. Drop the knife. Drop the knife. Drop the knife. Oh my God. Oh, sorry. You gotta be kidding me. Stop! Stay down! Stop! Stay down! Get the knife! Get the knife! Hey, over here! Over here! Alright, get some gloves. Wow, sorry, idiot.
There's your fifth and final case. A disturbed person, by the way, if you didn't read there at the end, the gentleman died of wounds. Disturbed person living in a house with other people, didn't appear to be family members. And you had law enforcement called. We heard the 911 calls, all of them. They respond clearly knowing that this was a person that could possibly have schizophrenia, a mentally ill person. Any part of this video we'd like to see again?
Yes, the end right before he got shot.
Mm-hmm.
From which body cam?
The second officer.
I ain't got it back. Sir, you don't got the key? You ain't the FBI. You are a drug dealing cartel. Of terrorists. I know you ain't got no back. Listen. Yeah, right. Playtime over. There you go. Stop! Drop the knife! Drop the knife! Drop the knife! Oh my God. Oh, sorry.
Is that what you needed to see?
Yes, I'm good.
Any other questions? A portion of video? Who? Go ahead. Who am I stepping on? Go ahead.
Sorry, I was stepping on you, brother. It's Tim. I just needed to see the knife in his hand. That's all I had to see.
All right, Big Ron, let's put up a clock. Let's go with Kim. Kim Tink, what's your initial impression on this one?
Never rely on Buffalo cops is my initial impression. He was clearly out of his mind, ranting. So in somebody in a mental capacity like that, they're unpredictable. Once the door was open, he clearly ran toward the officers and raised his hand in a upward stabbing motion. At that time, the officer shot after repeatedly telling him to stop and drop the weapon. So I think it's reasonable.
Fair enough. Jenny, what do you think?
I think it is really sad, but clearly the guy was dangerous to everybody in that house, including the police. And did he have a towel over his face? Is that what I saw?
I think he had a hoodie on his face and his face was blurred.
Okay. And I think he had two knives. I think he had a knife in each hand, both raised, coming directly at the officers. So I don't really think they had a choice.
That is correct. There were two knives. Nico, what do you think?
The two videos, it was definitely worth watching both of them. The first one gave a good view of the taser being used, and really from the first video, it wasn't clear that he actually got shot. I thought maybe the taser had an effect. From the second video, that's when I realized he was actually shot. And then the second time we watched the second video is when you can see that the taser went off, hit his thick hoodie, had zero effect, and he came charging forward undeterred, and until the second body cam officer had to actually shoot to stop him. And yes, he was definitely dual wielding some knives there, and he needed to be stopped, unfortunately.
Okay. Mr. Richard Reeves, sir, what do you think?
Justified. He had a knife. He was armed. He charged the officers within 20 feet. And, 20 feet, even if gun versus knife, knife is still lethal. You don't just drop from one shot, two shots, three shots. You have at least 30 seconds to do whatever you want. And a person can easily, certainly a man can cover that within a couple seconds easily.
Well, let me ask you guys this. Does law enforcement, the government, have any responsibility to try to do some critical intervention techniques, or to take in consideration this guy's having a mental episode? And was he a danger to anyone other than himself inside that room? He wasn't a danger till the police kicked the door open. To anyone other than himself.
Is that where the social worker comes in?
I didn't see one there. Did you?
No.
Let's go to Tim. I want to get Tim's initial point of view. Go ahead, Tim.
No more games. Door kick. That's what happens. You can't barricade yourself somewhere and then be brandishing two knives, holding them in the position with blade out, and then charge. It doesn't matter if you're having a mental breakdown. He chose suicide by cop, unfortunately.
Okay, Kim, I went to you first. Yeah, I went to you first. And does everyone's pretty solid on their no bill on this one? Are they believe it reasonable? With each and every one of you,
I'm firm.
Yeah, each and every one of you articulated that you're reasonable. Let's take a vote on it, because we're running a little short on time. And by the way, folks, we have an after party that'll kick off in that 20 minutes after the hour. We'll invite all of our jury members in there. Of course, Jason and myself will be there, and Big Ron maybe for a little while. He works pretty hard during the day, but we'll be in there. We can further discuss this. But let's get a vote now. Going to you first, Kim.
Yeah, I'm eager to talk about my view of the cops in this call later, but as far as force, it's reasonable.
Very good. Jenny, reasonable or not?
Reasonable.
Nico, reasonable or not? Mr. Richard Reeves.
Reasonable.
Say it so I have a shocked look on my face. Say it again.
Reasonable.
No,
he charged the cop.
Didn't see it coming. Mr. Tim, what do you say, sir?
Justifiable, beyond any kind of doubt. Reasonable.
All right, Big Ron, let's post a verdict on our final case for the night. And I want to take just a minute to say I'm a big supporter of small content promoters. If anybody's watching that has a space show or a podcast they'd like to promote, just get me a DM. There's no charge for it, but we'll put you in the mix here if for your content. Like I said, we're here to do that. But I also want to say that we have a Patreon group, and I'll be honest with you, my Patreon members are super loyal because I don't really do anything in there. Everything I do, I put out. So there's no really exclusives by being a member of the Patreon. But what you can do by the Patreon to help support this, there's a cost to doing this between FOIA requests and just the monthly fees to keep the broadcast going every Friday night that we've been doing for more than 2 years now. But if you like the show, go and join the Patreon group. The code's on the screen there. If not, it's at Joe Lanou. Everything I've got is at Joe Lanou on Patreon. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a subscribe. If you're watching on X, give us a follow. Same thing for Rumble. Show your support. We appreciate it. This is why we do it. The last thing I want to say is a warm and genuine thank you to all of our jurors. These guys take quite a bit of time on a Friday night to come do this with us, folks. So put your hands together and give them all a follow as well. With that, we're going to call it a night. We'll see you in the after party in about 20 minutes.
An incarcerated individual's use of institutional telephones constitutes consent, and your calls may be provided to law enforcement agencies. Thank you for using Securus.